It's Tuesday, 7 p.m. You're on the radio show. Listen to me. I'm Mimi Steward.
Y yo soy J. Jesús Rodríguez Caballero. Este es tu show. Listen to me, que comienza ahora.
Bueno, mi gente, este es martes. Otro día bendecido desde aquí en nuestro centro. Estamos aquí en el tercer piso de Radio UNT con una vista hermosa y es otro martes, pero en Puerto Rico las cosas están tétricas. Things in Puerto Rico are not doing very well. There's some fighting. Se encontraron los estudiantes de la UPR con el presidente del Senado, Tomás Rivera Chats, un republicano. There has been clashes in Puerto Rico, and they started early this evening when the president of the Puerto Rican Senate, this is the Puerto Rican government now that we're talking about, another Republican, Tomás Rivera Chats, was ambushed by students of the University of Puerto Rico. And we feel the pain because here in the United States we see what's going on with the town halls. Nosotros aquí en los Estados Unidos estamos viendo lo que está pasando en los town halls con los senadores y los representantes federales. And we know that these are uncertain times. Estos son tiempos de incertidumbre. But there's a very important path for Puerto Rico and the United States to finally come together and change that flag from 50 stars to 51. But it's up to the people of Puerto Rico. Pero acuérdate que nosotros estamos transmitiendo a través de radiount.net. We're broadcasting by www.radiount.net. This is the internet, cyberspace. So even though I'm celebrating my beautiful studio here with my friends that we're going to be talking about, Mimi's over here, and basically we're gonna try and talk about things. Y vamos a hablar de cosas bien serias. But this goes more out to Puerto Rico, and we're going to start. This is Listen to Me. I'm JJ Rodriguez. Mimi Steward, how you doing?
Hello, everybody. Good evening.
Thank you very much. And here we have some very good friends from the Republican Party. We have Marin, Robbie Ford. We have Casier. They're with the Florida Republican United. This is a club that has formed or has been in its evolution, because I know Kathy Gibson. How you doing, dear? You're around there. I want to talk to you in a little while. I've known that girl for about 11 years, and basically she knows that I have my foot stuck into the Republican Party one way or another, because I'm a Republican and I'm a pro-statehood. But Lou, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, Jay. Great to be here, and I'm feeling really good about being able to speak with you, meet with you, and to be part of your show today.
Great. And Robbie, how you doing, my dear? We've chowed some of the same dirt because we went to some of the same phone bankings from Mr. Donald Trump when he was a candidate, when nobody was believing that he could do anything. We were the ones that had those little specks of red throughout Orange County, right?
You had foresight.
Yeah, we had foresight. That is true. That's one of the leadership's qualities of a servant leadership. You have to have foresight. So yeah, you have to be able to read before. But Robbie, we had some interesting calls in that call center, but we also had some interesting visits from the radio, television that came sometimes when we were doing our job there in the call center.
Yes, we had several calls. We had the different news people in.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we had Ivanka down in the downtown office.
That's
and they
true.
came to see that, and we had some other people around. I think they really were trying to understand Trump more, understanding what he stood for, that he was bold, he's strong,
Mm-hmm.
he's got I always say he has a strong backbone, and he truly does want to make America great. He's not a politician looking for the money. He has plenty of it. He's not even taking a salary. I think he has to by law take $1.
Mm-hmm.
So, we just had to help get the word out to everybody what type of man Trump really is, and that he really cares for the American people.
And we do have to inform, and it's very important. That's why I have to do this show in English and in Spanish, porque yo quiero informar la gente lo que está pasando con el Partido Republicano de Central Florida y de todos los otros diferentes partidos. No es nada más en Florida. It's not only in Florida, because again, we broadcast and we transmit through cyberspace. We're in the second part of the show. We have a very important announcement. Tenemos un anuncio muy importante para mi gente, so we're going to take there. So we have a lot going on, and listen to me. But one of the things that, Robbie, you're right, y es una de las cosas que tenemos que hacer, es que tenemos que sacar esa aparición de racista que dicen que Donald Trump es un racista. Donald Trump is not a racist. Él no es un racista. He's not against Hispanics. Él no está detrás de los hispanos. Está detrás de los criminales. He's after criminals. What he promised. Criminals, los criminales. Y mira, mucha gente dice que a los 100 días él no ha hecho nada. Some people say, oh, at 100 days he hasn't done nothing. That's not true. And that's why we need these types of shows, right, Robbie? We need these shows to be able to talk to people in their own language, in Spanish, en español, en su propio lenguaje, y decirle, you know, we're part of America. You know, it's time. My dear brother, Chris, how you doing? Welcome to Listen to Me.
Muy bien, gracias.
Oh, good. ¿Usted habla español entonces?
Un poquito.
Ah, that's good. That really works in restaurants. You know, when you know what you want to order. Yeah, I want some burritos. I want this. I want that. Oh, you speak Spanish? No.
Well, when I take my gringo friends to a Spanish restaurant, I always teach them the first thing they have to know is at the end of the meal, you always say, "La cuenta, por favor."
Oh, yeah. Interesting. Yeah, la cuenta. Yes, he wants us to pay. Now we know. Hey, when we hear la cuenta, run! I gotta go to the potty room. I'll be back. So, my friend Lou, tell me, and Robbie also, and Chris, thank you very much. Why the Florida Republicans united? What's happening? What's going on? Are we fractured? Why are we have to unite? What do we got to do, Lou?
In my opinion here, I want to take what I call the Martin Luther King approach. Mm-hmm. We got to go start with the families locally, start growing and help bring families together, working together in the community. One of our mottos is American citizens working together to bring our community together, solving problems. Give everybody, no matter what race you are, no matter where you're from, give them a voice. We want to hear your concerns. We want to be able to take this to the next level. Martin Luther King did this. He did the same thing. He brought everybody together and came from grassroots up, and the politicians had to listen to them. I always joke around and say, you know, politicians, in order to understand a politician, you must understand the root word politics. Poly mean many, ticks mean blood-lying sign parasites.
Eso todo el mundo lo sabe lo que quiere decir político.
So it's not about just the Republican Party, the American Party. It's about becoming American first. One thing I've learned is that no matter who you are, you put your pants on one leg at a time. So let's try to solve problems one problem at a time by working together. Give the community a voice so that we can go after these politicians and make them do their jobs.
And basically, get the criminals out of the streets, because sincerely, we want to have a peaceful. We have enough to deal with things that happen, like in Pulse. Now we're afraid to go out. You know, we can't let that style of living that the Democrats. I'm sorry. Yes, I am a Republican. I've said it many times. I'm a Republican. I'm a pro-statehood for Puerto Rico, so I don't make no apologies of my opinions, because this is an opinion show. Este es un show que tiene una opinión, y es una opinión de un republicano pro-estadista. And it is that we have to obey the laws. We are a land of laws. If we do not obey the laws, what are we? Dime, what are we?
Be a chaos country. We cannot afford that. We gotta listen. We got a lot of folks here. In my opinion, there are two things we have to do right away. Number one is obey the rule of law, and number two, we have to is find common ground amongst each other. Just like the Puerto Ricans and Hawaiians. What do we got in common? The coquille.
Oh yeah,
you know let's sit down and talk about the coquille. Let's have a cup of coffee, whatever, a meal, and let's talk about how we can solve the coquille problem. Little things like that is a starter.
Or we could probably do PSA announcements where we could start telling Puerto Ricans in the island, hey, it's about time you made a decision. June 11th, folks, statehood. It's worked for us. Florida, tell me, that's the thing. People that are Floridians, and I tell them, hey, I don't know the history past the 1800s. Florida became a state in the 1845, 49, 45, but basically, they were in the same shoes that Puerto Rico was. Their infrastructure was down. They had debts in the millions, which compared to the 1840s could have been trillions in this time frame. So every state that came into the union had an issue with their infrastructures, had an issue with some sort of monetary debt, something that they needed to perfect. And the only way that could be perfected was out. Having their 2 senators, having their group of congressmen in the United States Congress. Representation. Right now, we do not have representation. And again, I'm going to say something. Darren Soto. Crickets. Yeah. Crickets. You know, the thing of it is, Darren Soto has not done anything for the Hispanic community. So I'm going to echo Donald Trump's words when he talked about Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama to the African Americans. Are you better off now? ¿Están mejores ahora con Darren Soto que con otra persona? Wayne Lubinsky is a very good man. And I think Wayne has more Latin blood in him than Darren Soto. And I'm going to say it again. This is an opinion show. If you don't like it, I am so sorry. But the truth sometimes is a little bit harsh. Do you agree with me, Lou?
Absolutely.
Because right now, what is he doing? And again, Val Demings, what is she doing? They're preparing their resumes.
For the next run. That's crazy.
They're preparing their resumes. Am I right or wrong? Is there anything, Chris? Do you
Well,
think?
she's a puppet. Okay, she's a novice. She was brought to Washington to be a vote, not to rock any boats at all. You know, she's most famous for having lost her own handgun parked in a car parked in front of her own house. You know, this is what she's known for. Geraldine Thompson took her to task on that in the last campaign. You know, and said, "What is this? A Barney Fife police officer? I mean, we did that. We made the spot that showed that." And then, of course, 2 weeks ago, Sheriff Demings, you know, who's her husband, did a PSA on the local radio stations telling people who have handguns to be sure to keep their cars locked when they park so that their guns aren't stolen. I thought that was really hilarious myself.
And the crime rates in here, the heroin addiction. So Sheriff Demings, we should have helped that deputy sheriff Spike. He should have done more.
Spike Hopkins. Well, we did all we thought we could. Maybe we should have done more.
He's a good guy.
Good guy.
And basically that would truly would have brought in law and order to this. I think Spike would have been the only person that could have put a curb to the war in heroin that heroin is doing to the community, because we are facing. I am so sorry. We may be a tourist attraction, but we are facing problems with drug addiction.
Yes,
And
that's
Trump
true.
said it too.
Amen.
Well, we have that, and we have the human trafficking issue here too, that is rarely discussed, but is actually quite serious. We have a lot of people here coming as tourists, so to speak, or coming to conferences, and we're taking advantage of this very unattractive underside of what's going on in our community.
And it's true, and it's a pity, because the thing of it is that it destroys our fabric as a society, and the Democrats think that that's the breeding ground for a perfect government, for a perfect society. For what? Mindless people that will do all their bidding, and probably what Obama wanted, because he was trying to look to abolish the term limits for presidents, because he was saying it. Oh, if I ran against Trump, I would have won.
Actually, it's too bad he didn't run against Trump, because we would have kicked his ass.
Again, sorry. But anyway, it is true. It is true. We would have blasted him into.
I mean, that would have finished him off, right? We wouldn't be hearing from him at all now.
That's true.
He'd be
now
gone.
We have to. He's not even decent enough to wait a couple of years. It's what, 9 months out of it? Yeah, I'm here. Hey, did you forget about me? Yes, we did. Why did you come back?
Yeah.
But anyway, Lou, tell me a little bit. What are the functions of the Florida Republicans United? Are we going to be seeing some outreach to Hispanics? Are we going to be seeing some contacts? When is we have a function on June 2nd? Can we expect some help from you guys to help us monetarily? Hey, I'm sorry. If we make a party, we need Kool-Aid and popcorn. Money is always an issue. Fundraising is always an issue, but we got to do it, because if we don't get the money, we can't do this.
I get that, and you're absolutely right. You know, it's like any good campaign, any objective you're trying to accomplish. It takes money, it takes resources, it takes time, it takes volunteers. So I get that. But yeah, I think most of us here will be more obliged to help out. I'll be happy to give you a little bit of magic on the side there to maybe bring it to make that more entertaining for you.
Cool. All right. Yeah.
One of the things that to me, we're building a team, a solid team of experienced folks that we can depend on. I'm not talking because we're Republican, because we're Americans, not just black, white. We have the Asian community coming in. We have leaders. We have the board of directors we're putting together. It's an awesome outreach to reach out to all the walks of life, to build us all together as a community. Like, once again, It's about giving them a voice. We have to give them a voice. It's from grassroots up, and we put the pressure on these guys.
All right.
Just like Martin Luther King did.
Well, good. Yes, Robbie.
I think one thing that Florida Republicans United want to do is, especially with the Hispanic community, which is one reason why we're here, is to clarify what Republicans stand for. I think sometimes in the translations for the Hispanic people in Puerto Rico, between Democrats and Republicans, it's different. Their Democrats in Puerto Rico are not the same as Democrats here.
That's true.
The Hispanic people that I know, our values are very much the same as Republicans. They're solid Christian people, they're family-oriented people. They also have great parties, I'll add that.
Yes!
And good food.
And talking about that, we're going to be talking about that in the next half an hour.
But I think sometimes they associate that name Republican with like the USSR or the Republic of China or places that they don't want to be a part of. And I think that that's why we want to clarify what Republicans stand for. We are very family oriented. We have the same values. And that's one of the reasons that we're here, and that's what we mean about being united, is having a clear understanding of each other. And we welcome opportunities to reach out to the Hispanic group.
Well, that's what we want to do, and we are hitting that tone because in the next half an hour we're going to be talking about some things that Radio UNT has achieved in a very short time, especially the show. Listen to me, but one of those parameters is breaking 20,000 plus in listeners. So that is something that even blows our local radio stations out of the water. So that's one of the things that we have to try and achieve is bring people like you to be able to speak. So again, my calling was always higher than Ockrek. Many people were telling me, why don't you run for Ockrek Chair? I am so sorry. That's not my plate right now. And remember that I had asked you, Robbie, and you told me it's political suicide. So why would I want to commit political suicide? I want to serve the Republican Party. I don't want to split it up anymore. I'm a uniter. I'm not a divider. I've never, ever, ever been that. But when there's, but when there are people that want to try and take advantage, then Kathy knows me as that really boisterous and loud Puerto Rican who says, "Wow, he ain't gonna shut up." No, because that is who I am. God made me like this. And I'm glad that I found what I needed. And I'm glad that I have you friends to come and orient me and tell me this. So, yo solo puedo decir a estas personas que hablan español que el Partido Republicano no nos odia. El Partido Republicano nos quiere incluir. El Partido Republicano quiere más de ustedes a entrarse dentro del Partido Republicano. So, you want inclusion. You don't hate and you're not racist. That's not the Republican Party. Don't listen to what the other side is saying. The left, the Democrats, is propaganda. Lo de la izquierda es propaganda.
And these are what they call Alinsky tactics. Alinsky tactics is to go after somebody by creating what I call propaganda, lies. They did the same with Herman Cain, said all this crap about that he had all these affairs, which is absolutely false. I know him personally because I was the deputy director for him as well as Donald Trump for the state of Florida. These folks are good Christian folks, good Christian people. I've been on calls with Mr. Trump in the campaign, and you know what? We open with prayer and we close with prayer. And not just 5-minute prayer. These are 45-minute prayers sometimes. Like, wow. So I got really even more excited being on these leadership calls. So to say he's racist, that's absolutely false too. Why? Look, I'm browner than most people, you know? So to sit there and say that, I was on that team, and I was proud to be on that team. I was proud from day one. I was Trump from day one, and I'm proud of that.
But it was vicious, man.
It was vicious. People thought, listen.
Era vicioso. Era muy vicioso.
They thought I was crazy at first because I have a whole following of 29 states doing the balanced budget amendment, and they thought I was crazy when I started jumping on the Trump train. They wanted me to go on the cruise right away. I said, no, I'm going to go Trump it. Why? I want a businessman to run my country. I'm fed up with politicians, double fork and talk, say one thing and do another. And this is both parties are guilty of this. But I want to start cleaning house and take back our party and do what's right for the people.
Yeah. And my dear brother Chris, you wanted to say something, but before you say what you were going to say, in the national news, we're seeing that leftist media is putting Trump's approval rating at 40%. Yet there are other feelings and sentiment within the social media that feel that percentage is skewed. What, as a humble Republican and my friend here, what do you think?
Well, remember that when we went into the actual election, that same media was convinced that
Yeah.
Hillary was going to win in a
Yeah.
landslide.
So you're totally
Okay?
correct. yeah.
The same media was sure that the British would stay in the common market. And the same thing's going on in France today. They're all sure that Marine Le Pen is going to get clobbered. I don't think that that's correct. And I think they're liable to just fudge the numbers any way they feel like it. We've just would last at least the last 8 or 10 years of having the government give us phony employment numbers, phony inflation numbers. I mean, all of us know that the pound of bacon that was costing you $2.50, 8 years ago is costing you $5 today. And then at the same time, they say there's no inflation.
Fuzzy math.
The fuzzy man.
So I don't cotton to any of that. I think it's all phony. Now, back to what Lou said about Herman being slandered. One of the things that is natural when somebody insults you is to deny it, is to try to refute it, okay? The minute you do that, you're on your hind leg. You are on the defensive. Donald Trump doesn't do that. Somebody comes at him like that, he's right back at him. He doesn't even hesitate. And then people get upset, say, oh, you shouldn't say that, you shouldn't speak like that. Well, you know what?
Well, he's defending himself.
Yes.
Yeah, but you know what else? He's also defending our American way of life and our country and the world. It's beautiful. I mean, look what he just did with the tariffs with Canada. This has just come down in the last day. This is powerful stuff. Stand up for America. Make America first. It doesn't mean we hate other people. It just means we have our own interests at heart. That's very, very powerful stuff. And in order to take over this politically, to recapture, if you will, Central Florida, we're going to have candidates on our team who do the same thing locally. We can't have any of this mealy-mouthed, well, maybe not, No, we're going to have people who are going to stand up and fight for our principles.
Eso es lo que tenemos que hacer, porque nosotros tenemos que integrarnos dentro del Partido Republicano para poder ser lo mismo. Nosotros tenemos las mismas ideales, nuestros mismos valores, y indicarle al Partido Republicano que los latinos estamos aquí para quedarnos, que vamos a ser representados, pero tienen que salir y llegar. That's why they're here. There's this connection. I'm the bridge. Yo soy el puente. Por eso es que el show se llama Listen to Me. That's why the show is called Listen to Me. Porque te estoy proveyendo una información fidedigna de boca de personas profesionales que están dentro del Partido Republicano y no te están mintiendo, te lo están diciendo aquí, lo estás escuchando en vivo, lo estás viendo a través de diferentes devices en sus aplicaciones. Cyberspace es el futuro de la radio. Y Listen to Me es el futuro de los programas de radios políticos como este. Mi hermano Miguel, ¿me puedes poner una musiquita, por favor? Vamos a regresar pronto con nuestros invitados Chris, Robbie y Lou Marin aquí. And my beautiful Miss Mimi and Paloma came and oh Gus, how you doing? So, tenemos el party encendido, gracias a Dios y con Dios por delante como siempre. Que Dios me los bendiga. No se vaya nadie, que seguimos aquí en Listen to Me. We're here with Listen to Me and Lou and Chris, Robbie, Kathy. Y vamos a la canción Listen to Me. Mi gente, muy agradecido de Dios que nos bendice con un día tan positivo y tan elaborado y tan bello. God has blessed us with an elaborate and beautiful day. You know why? Because his complexity, to understand God, is as complex as the beauty that we're seeing through this third floor window here in the studios of Radio UNT. And you could see it in YouTube after I play it, because it always comes out like really, really bright, and then it starts getting really, really dark. And that is the beauty that God has created the day and night. That's the difference between the Republican Party and the Democratic Party from day and night. Es una diferencia de la noche al día. El Partido Republicano quiere que tú prosperes. El Partido Republicano quiere que tú te integres al partido. The Republican Party wants you to know that they're out there. The Republican Party wants you to come into the fold. The Republican Party wants you to participate of the Republican Party. El Partido Republicano quiere que tú participes dentro del Partido Republicano. Pero tú tienes que hacer el primer paso y tienes que dar ese paso de salir, de llegar, to come to these meetings, talk to these people, hablar con ellos, hacerles preguntas, civilizadamente, civil, but hacerles preguntas. Chris, you were talking about the mission values or the mission statements?
Yes. Well, we founded Florida Republicans United, which I think in itself sums up what we're about. We're based in Florida, we're Republicans, and we want to bring people together. And our mission is to bring Americans together to defend constitutional law, limit government, and combat progressive tyranny by fighting for individual liberty and championing principled conservative candidates. So we are activists. We're not just a social club. We're in the business here of helping conservative candidates get into office that represent and will fight for the values that are in our mission statement.
Okay, all right. And that is a very important value, and I think esos valores que habla Chris de parar el movimiento izquierdista, porque la palabra progresista en español significa otra cosa. The word progressive in Spanish means another thing. So I have to translate it as it is. Es el izquierdismo. Lo que trajo Bernie Sanders, what Bernie Sanders wants. That's more the progressive that we have to stop. Eso es parte del progresismo que tenemos que parar. Porque puede llegar a ser tirano. It could become tyrannical, and he's right. Kathy, again, thank you very much. This is your first presence here in my show, and I'm so blessed. But my wife was right. She says, you got to talk to Kathy. And said she has to say, yeah, I know Jay for 11 years plus. Yeah, I know him for a long, long time. Many OCREC meetings that we've been into.
Many OCREC meetings, many rallies, and many campaigns.
Yes. So, Kathy, you are part of this club too, but you also have a very important position within the hierarchy, because your same position is in Puerto Rico, the Puerto Rican Republican Party. The same position you have is held by the resident commissioner of Puerto Rico, the non-voting delegate, Jennifer Gonzalez. She is the state committee woman of her Puerto Rican Republican Party. You are the state committee woman, right?
Yes, I am for Orange County.
Yep, for Orange County. So he's so that is a very big thing. And tell us, how is your involvement with the Republican Party, your years of experience, and now joining this group? Tell us that experience, because experience is worthy, and Donald Trump has taught us something. He's given us the blueprint to win any race. But Kathy has one thing. She has the insights of past activities, campaigns, elections. Tell us, what is the Florida Republican United that interests you so much, Kathy?
Well, one of the things that I ran on as state committee woman was making sure that our minority communities have a voice. And not only as part of a club, but we're looking for good, honest, solid, conservative minority candidates as well. We want them to participate in government, because when everyone participates, it makes us all better. I ran on giving the youth a voice. You look around our party, we're getting kind of old, folks. Mm-hmm. Not me, not Robbie, but the rest of you all. But we do. We need to be bringing in our younger generations, and we need to start grooming them early in high school and in college, and our young professionals as well. And that's what interests me about this. I encouraged them to charter this club, and we chartered this club as a sister club to Gina Perez Calhoun's. And I'm going to murder this, JJ, because I don't speak.
Republicanos Unidos.
Right.
All right. So.
Right. And
I know. She gave me the cue. I see that it's been years. When you know how to finish the other friend's words, you've known them for too long.
There we go.
But it's a blessing, Kathy, and I thank you so much for that friendship. And yes, so what do you want to do with the ethnic communities, the Asian Americans, the Latinos, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans? What?
Well, most of them hold the same values we do. We're for family.
That is true.
We're for entrepreneurship.
True.
We're for smaller government. Mm-hmm. We don't like tyranny. And when you have a lot of the minorities coming from tyrannical nations. I mean, my own son-in-law, and you don't think about Poland as part of a tyranny, but my own son-in-law's father took political asylum from Poland here in the Americans when Solidarity went down. But, we have Marco Rubio. His dad took asylum from Castro.
Mm-hmm. True.
And from other Latin American countries, we see this. The Vietnamese, I have friends that are Vietnamese. We fought a war to help free them, and they're back under communism. So we have people that come here for that. Same with the Asian community. I have friends that escaped communist China. In fact, my husband's cousin's husband was part of the Chinese royal family that they got out in junks when Mao took over.
Wow.
So we have some experiences with this, and we really want to see our minorities come together as we work together for America.
And that is true. Do we have somebody on the phone? Cheryl? Oh, Cheryl Hall. Yes, you guys know Cheryl Hall, right?
I do now. Yeah.
You do? All right.
Do
Well,
now.
she's
Hey, Cheryl.
Hey,
she's
Cheryl.
with
Hey,
the
how are
Republican Party
ya?
Also, Cheryl, how you doing? And Kathy, sorry to interrupt you, but we're going to get with you in a moment. Cheryl Hall, how you doing, dear? Welcome to Listen to Me. Where are you calling us from, dear?
Right now, I'm at my REC meeting up at Tavares. So I stepped out for a minute so I could call you.
In
In
Tavares?
Lake County.
Oh, in Lake
Up in
County.
Lake County, Tavares.
Oh, Tavares. Well, we want to welcome you to Listen to Me, and thank you very much for being. But you are also involved in the Republican Party, and what do you do?
Well, right now I have started my own club through the RPOS, which is called The People Stand with Trump. And that's through the RPOS. And also with the Republican Party, right now where I'm at right now, I am overlooking and representing District 2 and District 79 for Donald Trump.
Good. So that is good to hear. So see, this is what Listen to Me is so important. Por esto es que Listen to Me es tan importante. Because it's bringing all these groups and clubs together, and we're telling the information to the Latino community. Nosotros estamos cogiendo todas las informaciones de todos estos grupos de diferentes condados from different counties. Because there's Orange County, you're calling us from Lake. I know that we are all the way up down to Dade County. So we're doing something good, Cheryl, and I'm very grateful that you're in my show. But you have some very important news to tell us too. Something's happening next Tuesday, right?
Next Tuesday, I'm going to be on your show. I'm coming physically to your show. I've taken my happy butt down to Orlando to come see you and meet all y'all.
All right. Well, hopefully we'll have Kathy here. We'll have Robbie. We'll have Lou. We'll have other guests too. Paloma and Gus will be here. Mimi's going to be here. So come to this big hug of a family that's called Listen to Me. So Cheryl, I'm not going to take much of your time because I want to leave everybody wishing and you know, it's called adding value in radio. So basically, we'll see you next week and we'll talk what's going on with the Trump campaign in Lake County. What are we doing to help enter the Hispanic market? Because it's very important. Like Lou says, and Chris, Robbie, many things have to be done before we could start switching these counties that were left behind. But you are also planning on something that we're going to be doing here in Orange Counties too soon, right, Cheryl?
Yes, well, we want to get together with Orange County, and we want to do an event for Donald Trump along with Flag Day.
Okay.
So we want to make sure we bring everyone together to celebrate our president's birthday, which is June 14th, and also Flag Day. So we want to get together with all of the counties to bring everybody together to celebrate his birthday and also Flag Day, which has to do with everybody. Republicans,
Great.
Democrats, to get everybody together.
All right. Well, I like it because we have to get more Democrats to switch. We got to get those non-party affiliates to switch also. So we got a lot of work to do, Cheryl, and I'm so grateful. But my dear, thank you for calling in. We'll see you next Tuesday, and we're going to have a lot of fun, and we're going to be talking about those next events. And isn't it good that here in Listen to Me in real time, we're doing unions. Estamos haciendo uniones, not magic. See, Lou, I don't have to do any magic, man. Everything is right here. But Cheryl, thank you so much, and we'll see you next week, all right?
My pleasure, guys. See you next Tuesday.
All right, bye.
Keep on trumping.
Bye.
Jay, you just brought up something. You just brought up NPAs. And I'm not, we're just talking about uniting people. I want people who may be NPAs need to understand that Florida is a closed state.
Yep.
And they need to know that they will not be allowed to vote in the primaries. and we need all the Hispanics voting in the primaries. So if they are an NPA out there, please register as a Republican so you can vote for the Republican candidate that has your same values. An NPA will not be allowed to vote in the primaries in Florida.
Esa es una de las cosas muy importantes que ha dicho Robbie Ford. Si tú estás en Florida, si estás en el estado de Florida y tú no estás registrado con un partido político, ya sea demócrata o republicano, no te van a dejar votar en las primarias. They're not going to let you vote in the primaries. No te van a dejar votar. Y eso es parte. You're missing out on part of your constitutional right to vote is the primaries. So yes, por eso es que la gente me dice, yo no soy republicano, yo no soy demócrata, I'm not a Republican, I'm not a Democrat. That's wrong, because part of your vote is being cut in half, because by not voting in the primaries, por no votar en las primarias, you're not exercising your full right to citizenship. No estás ejerciendo tu voto puro de ser ciudadano americano, of being an American citizen. And Robbie, that's a very good point. Lou, you've been too silent. They tell me that you're the talkative one. What's the matter, man?
No, not me. No, I'm good to go, man. I'm just going to enjoy the conversation. I'm enjoying
See,
myself.
this is better than a weekend at Bernie's or one of the movies. It's even more informative. Es hasta más informativo. But before we keep on with you guys, Mimi, we have a very important announcement, right?
We do. We have a huge announcement, Mr. J, but you have to announce this because I'm still in shock somewhat.
Yeah. Not even a year old the show is. It's not less than a year old. And we have been nominated for the Oscars, Puerto Rican style Oscars. It's called Los Premios Paolis. It's named after a very 18th century tenor that used to sing in classical music. And we've been nominated to be Best Show of the Year. So. And it's the first nomination of the sort for Radio UNT in a non-secular base, because they've always gotten awards for the Christian awards in their categories, but this is the first nomination. Esta es la primera nominación de los Paoli, mijo!
So wait, let me get this right, Mr. J. We have been nominated. Listen to me.
Listen to me.
Has been nominated. Oh my gosh, thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And thank you, Paloma, for helping us too, making that really big. And Gus, you're se fue. Espérate, he left. Where'd you go? Okay, he's done. He's somewhere. But anyway, Paloma, vamos a estar celebrando eso, y vamos el 28 de mayo, vamos para el Doubletree. We're going to be to the Doubletree, and we're going to have a lot of party. And I'm very grateful for everybody that has told us about the nomination. But this is the first time, and you're getting to hear it for the first time. So we are very happy to be nominated. There's a lot of big hitters in the category, because I'm talking about years and years in radio. Estamos en contra de los bien grandes.
Pero tenemos a alguien mucho más grande.
Oh yeah.
Frente de nosotros, que es Jehová.
Yeah, that's true. We have
what
somebody.
do we need to do? What
So,
do the viewers need
well,
to
this is what you need to do. You need to go to premiospaoli.com. Premiospaoli.com. Go under the category where it says vote for your best musical artist. Click there and then look for the best radio show of the year, best show radial del año, and then you look for Listen to Me all the way in the bottom. We're all the way in the bottom, but hey, it's the first time all the way in the bottom.
Save the best for last.
And save the best for last. And we wanna make sure that you go vote. Unfortunately, it's not like the elections in Chicago that they could vote more than once. Pun intended. I love you, Cook County. I love you, Chicago. You know I do, but I have to kind of jam you. I love my Cubbies. But anyway, go there to premiospaoli.com and vote for Listen to Me. And we're going to be telling you in Facebook Live and other venues. We want to make this social movement through social media. So we're going to make sure that we start telling people, and those people tell other people, those people tell other people. And when we win the award, May 28th, and they say they're going to be like when Trump won. You remember when Trump? What do you mean? Listen to me, what? Yep, we got this. We got this because you people will help us get it, and we have this movement because es un movimiento. Esto es un movimiento. This is a movement, just like what Trump did. This is a movement, and we're going to culminate with winning the award, hopefully winning the award, and if not, it's a blessing. It's always a blessing to be nominated for such a prestigious awards. It's going on its 34th edition, so this has been going on for 34 years. So it's been done in Puerto Rico and Orlando, and it's a big thing. You know, anybody that is Hispanic, you talk to them about the Premio Paulus. You were nominated for that? Wow, you? Like a lot of people are going like, he was nominated? They were nominated? Are you kidding? Well, yes, we were nominated.
Yes, we got nominated!
All right. So we keep on with my friends from the Republican, and my dear friend, you're here now. Can you please tell us your name?
Good to be here. Charles Hannes, and lived in Orlando since, almost 30 years, basically, 35 years, and seen so many changes, and about grassroots is really what it's all about. And that's the one part that I think that the Republicans have always taken it on the chin about, is it's said that the Republicans don't like grassroots and don't do that kind of thing. This is as grassroots as it gets. Oh, yeah. This is reaching out. This is like the Radio Marti of the day to reach out to Cuba. This now, if the internet has the ability to reach out and talk to all demographics and all people, all countries that have access to it, except those that are in dictatorships that are prevented from getting this kind of access. And that is what the change is needed. I kind of make a joke out of it that Hillary had a book back in the 90s of It Takes a Village, and I still reference that as a Republican because I like that idea. I don't like the fact, though, that so many of the Democrats made it a village of idiots. So from that standpoint, for people to come together and to be able to work in a community where they get like-minded individuals, professionals, people who are involved in the community in different ways, that is the biggest part of what I see when I see a radio show like this and other programs that people do, community outreach, churches working together to get people out. And that's the biggest thing that is needed right now. It's that voice of people who don't feel like they have a voice. I may be coming in here tonight in a suit, and I came from work, but I worked hard to get to where I did. And I would really say I'm a low notch on the totem pole, and I have no problem saying that. I'm not really politically active. I've been involved in campaigns, but the people that are listening, everybody who's out there that has a voice needs to use it and get involved. People are working, they have families, they have kids, they have elderly parents. They have so many things going on in their lives, and they just can't fit the time in for things like this and working with the community and churches. And it's a passion that my wife and I were like, we have to get involved. We have to make time. We may be exhausted. And God bless you all for being able to do this and have the time to be out here. And I love it. I absolutely love it.
Thank you for those kind words. Those are pieces of gold in my heart, because that's what makes me understand that what I'm doing is the right thing.
Absolutely.
And God has placed me the perfect people at the right time, the right moment. And yes, I may have an opinion, but I do also know that my soul is saved and I'm going to heaven because I believe in Jesus Christ as my Savior. I do not have no fear of saying that. And yes, I do believe in statehood for Puerto Rico. And yes, I am a Republican. So, wow, a lot of Democrats are pulling their hairs and says, that dude is crazy. He's suffering from delusion. No, I'm not. No. I know exactly where I am. I know exactly who I am. I know exactly where I want my people of Puerto Rico to be. In the next 4th of July, we're going to be celebrating that new flag when it rises with 51 stars. And there's no denying it, because that Puerto Rico and the United States are so intrinsic, not since a couple of hundred years ago. More than 400 years ago, Puerto Rico and the United States were very intrinsic, because traffic from Florida to Puerto Rico and from Puerto Rico to Florida started from the 1800s. So a state of Puerto Rico and a state of Florida united, oh my God, we could be the next
Star on the flag.
Star on the flag, but we could be the southern part of New York.
Move this star to the northern flag.
We'll move that star to over here.
There you go.
And talking about that, I have Miss Paloma Martinez. How you doing, my dear?
Muy buenas tardes a todos los radioescuchantes que están ahora mismo en sintonía de Radio UNT y Listen to Me.
Eso es así. Paloma, tú tenías, talking about foundations, Paloma has a foundation that she's starting, and I like to hear for you guys to hear this, and I'll translate some of the talking points.
Bueno, primero que nada quiero darle un saludito a todos los que están viendo ahora mismo el show vía live through Facebook. Hi everybody, I love you all. Sí, we have an organization called Changing Rooms. And it's a brand new organization. It's a support system that we're trying to put in place to recruit angels in the community to help others. Our organization, basically what we do is we hand out the tools necessary for them to do what we all want to do, which is help each other. Sometimes we want to help somebody and we don't have the necessary tools to make it happen. Sometimes we sit here as politics, as religious people, and we want to talk too much of what we want to do, but we can't really do everything. So we need help, we need support. If you take one person and you help that one person and make sure that that person makes a change in her life, and she does the same thing, you know how many people we can reach? Not one person can make a change, but all of us together can make a change. Today, I was gonna talk a little bit about one situation that I thought of this week. And I said, okay, now, let me see how changing rooms can add to the organization. And I was thinking, there's a lot of women out there that have 3, 4, 5 kids, and they wanna work. They wanna be productive in the community. But they don't have the support. They don't really have the help. They do have the handouts from the government, food stamps, welfare, etc. But we don't want to do that. We want to help them achieve their goals. We want to get them back into the community and be productive. But if they do, they're going to end up working 40 hours a week to pay one bill and to stay owing their daycare. They can't afford to go out of work. So I was thinking, okay, we get a lot of donations, we get all kinds of clothing, and right now I've been blessed to be able to dispatch a lot of clothing to the community. And I'm looking at this pair of pants and I'm saying, wow, this pair of pants costs $100. I know because I used to be a shopaholic. And I'm saying, Jay, you know, what can we do with this $100 pair of pants? You know, we also supply to the homeless. A homeless will wear it once, throw it out. But that person that donated that pair of pants was hoping that that pair of pants will mean something to that other person because they worked really hard to buy it. So I want to make sure that this organization utilized that type of help for something that's going to make a change. So I thought of, and I already started because when I think, I act. And I already hired a couple of girls, a couple of women that otherwise couldn't go out to work. And I recruit them in Doubly Treasures, which is my business. I buy and resell. I redefine treasures and sell them online. That's how I finance my time so I can help the community. And I took those donations, hand them over to this woman, said, here you go out there, you post them online, you start selling the heck out of those pants, make money, and you help the community again. You recruit other women that need the same assistance. We're going to provide you with those clothing. Obviously, we need you to donate and help. And we're going to provide this woman to start their own business and to be productive in the community. Guys, we need action. We need to think, feel, and act. We can't wait for the support of government. We can't wait for the support of our president or anybody. If we all take the time to make a difference and make it happen, not just talk about it, but make it happen and attack the actual need of the people in the community, we will have so much of a better world.
Where can people go to contact you if they have donations? Where do they go?
They can contact me through Facebook. They also can contact me through my phone number, 321-278-5223. I also have the Changing Rooms website.
Changing Rooms, is that what it says on Facebook?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, the organization is still in the beginning process. Okay. This is an organization that we are building together as a community, but only people that are willing to make a difference, to actually work. Because I'm waiting for all those people that are going to be 100% committed to the organization, because I want a strong foundation. And before I go out with a business plan and say, okay, this is what I need from you. We are making it happen daily so we can have that in our resume. Because like I said, we believe that doing things instead of talking is the key to success. Mr. J over here gave me the opportunity and open his doors to talk to people about the organization that hasn't even been born yet. But we know, and he has faith, and I have faith, that through this radio station, we're going to build an organization that's going to make a big difference in the community.
Oh yeah, we're not only see one of my insights as a servant leader is not only to make one star, another new star in the flag of the United States, is to do what she just said, change one person one at a time to understand that you have a worth here in this life. God did not throw a life away. That life is here for a purpose and a reason, and if you just nurture it like a seedling. We hear a lot of parables of the mustard seeds and the Bible, and these Christian stories are the ones that give us faith in our darkest times. Because once we try, and again, this radio show is very, very different because we do talk about religious things, community service, and politics. For a Latino, when you talk about politics, community affairs, or religion, they tell you, oh, those are very dangerous themes. But the thing of it is that if we don't speak about it, it's like she said, we don't make things happen.
You're giving a hand up, not a handout.
Exactly.
To the power of duplication.
Support system. It's a support system.
Yes.
And the beautiful part about this team is that I don't even know what Republican means. I'm sitting here, I'm listening to you guys. I love you all. I don't know what you do. I'm not a political person. I'm a hands-on kind of do it. If you're doing the right thing, I'm going to support you and I'm going to be behind you 100%. I follow people that are doing the right thing in the community. I support politicians that are making the difference in the community. A lot of us, because I consider myself part of a big community out there of people that don't really know exactly what you guys do. But we know when somebody goes out there and get their hands dirty and they do what they're talking about. That's right. And they make it happen. And that's what we need. We need people to show their faces in the community and make things happen one person at a time. We don't need $1,000. We don't need 1,000 people. We just need people like Jay to open their doors to a crazy lady like me.
What?
A crazy lady like me. Yes.
Ella es sata, no te preocupes. Nosotros, the thing of it is that we believe in what is called a mixed culture. And in my hometown of Puerto Rico, perro sato or perro sata is a stray dog, a mutt, is a mixture of all cultures, and that's what we are here. We are a mixed breed. We are just mutts that are trying to live our day by day. But sometimes these creatures of God, they lose faith not only on God, they lose faith in themselves. And as politicians, if we are going to be a servant in one way or in another capacity, how not be good to bless that person that has a problem, because the eyes of God are always watching. And if we serve him with dignity, he will look positively upon us. And that's why these things have been happening to me. That's why these awards have been happening. That's why Miguel opened up his house to me and let me have a show in his radio station. Because he's not going to have anybody in his radio station. He's very picky. This is his house. We are his guests. So he knows the value of what we're doing here. You guys know the value that we're doing here, politically and socially. But as Christians, because I know that all of you are Christians, we have to aspire to inspire, right? We have to aspire to inspire. That's right. And we haven't finished yet, but we have very little. So, Lou, tell me about the 100 Days of Trump. What's he done, bro?
I will be real quick about that. By the way, Trump, the acronym Trump, I want to tell you what that means. When I first joined the campaign, we made an acronym out of it. Trump, he tells the truth, he tells it like it is. It's scaring the hell out of people in D.C. The R stands for respect. Respects women, respects the Constitution, and respects the rule of law, unlike the politicians in D.C. The U stands for unifying Americans across the United States. He really is. He's putting Americans first. Everybody else comes second. American jobs, what have you. The M stand, he's a man of his word. He does what he says and says what he's going to do. And the P, he's a patriotic American, born on Flag Day. And he also loves this country and wants to do. So what has he done so far? Well, think about this. Job growth up 30%. That's huge. Huge. The Dow up 11%. NASDAQ 12% up. Existing home sales up 4%. New homes 5%. Look at illegal border crossings down 71%. This is progress. You don't hear this in the mainstream media.
You're forgetting one.
I'm not. I got a whole 2 pages here. Hold on.
No, hold on. But the main important one, Neil Gorsuch.
Oh, Neil Gorsuch. Oh, yeah, that's on here too. That's Neil Gorsuch. Trade deficit down
Is that
10%. Trade deficit.
He's the new
Supreme-
Supreme Court Justice.
Yes.
So now the Supreme Court is full. Before it was lacking a judge, so the decisions were coming like either tied. So he's the tiebreaker.
Oh.
Yes.
And he's a conservative, solid Christian.
Solid,
Yep.
solid.
Yep. So he would help in these
Massive.
issues that you're talking about.
And what does this mean? This means that the people, the business people, have restored their confidence now in the government. They're starting to spend their money and start growing their business. He's created jobs by getting the pipeline approved, the Keystone Pipeline approved, reversing all the bomb regulations and power plants, roll back vehicle emission standards, killing regulations. Forever they had to kill 2 before they could do 1. Think about that. Sealed the borders, banned refugees and terrorist nations, hired 5,000 new ICE agents, going to stop the sanctuary of cities. Because Torino realizes the people that are criminals that are hiding in these cities that are killing Americans, those leaders are liable too.
Yeah.
Okay, those people, they got blood on their hands. And we got to understand that. Americans come first. Big cuts on the H-1B visa. You want to cover the crime there?
No, you go. You're doing great.
Okay. As far as crime, he rescinded the federal order for local police so they can do their job instead of tying their hands. He's formed task force on opioid drugs. Again, drugs are a problem in our society.
So, Lou, why is the other side, like NBC, MSNBC, or CBS, or whatever they're called, they're not saying the same thing?
You know, it's sad, they don't tell the truth. And that's why people are fed up. They're fed up with not telling the truth. That's why the left lost. They lost big time because they don't tell the truth. And it's all about telling the truth. It's all about being honest with the American people. Abraham Lincoln said it best, give the people the facts and they'll make the right decision.
All right. Well,
Okay.
we're coming to the end of the hour, but
We'll close it out with this real quick.
You do.
If you believe in God, you believe in limited government, you believe in personal responsibility, you believe in family, go to Florida Republicans United Facebook, join us. Let's have a cup of coffee. I want to hear your voice, and we want to give you a voice. We need you. We need the grassroots level to put these politicians, keep them in check. So thank you for your time and congratulations. And we would love to have you as our voice of the Latino community. We'd love you to join us as one of our outreach.
But let me tell you, that's a loud voice. That's a loud voice.
It's not exactly quiet.
He doesn't come by himself.
We want you to be our voice in the Latino community outreach and be part of us because you know what? Your family is coming in. Okay?
All right, bro. Well, that's good. That's good. State Committeeman, woman of Orange County, Miss Kathy Gibson. How do you say about the show? Do we have your blessing? You know me for so many years, and you've always been very, very straightforward with me. Are we
Jay.
coming back?
I'll be back anytime you ask, and I want to talk to you
Oh.
Yeah, me too.
Yes.
about
Listen
what
to
you're
me.
doing. About what you're doing.
Yes.
Because it
Quería-
takes all of us. I mean,
It does.
and what you're doing will give so much empowerment to these women. I have seen it done in foreign countries on the mission field. You're doing exactly the right thing. And
Thank you.
if you need mentors or whatever, call us.
I
We're ready.
just wanna real quick say thank you for those kind words, and also to welcome another division leader to the organization. Her name is Rosandra. She actually has a ministry called Metamorfosis de Orugas a Mariposas. Don't try to let me translate that because I'm gonna butcher it.
It's a metamorphosis of from the larva to the butterfly.
Basically, this lady works with women that has been in the trafficking of women. Trafficking of women, and she feeds these ladies, she clothes them, she ministers to this woman, and I am so proud to welcome her into our division
We'll
as
talk
a
about the
division
trafficking.
leader for that. We have developed the other one that I just mentioned, the Doubly Treasures division, which we're gonna empower women to start their own business and start their business with the same donations that we receive by selling online and making their money, and obviously also supporting the organization to be able to help others again. So.
All right. Well, I guess that's it for another Tuesday of Listen to Me. Paloma, say goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody. I love you all.
Mimi, we didn't let you talk much today, but don't worry. We had a early pack, but we're gonna talk. We got a lot to do before the award ceremony. We have the June 2nd. But Miss Mimi, This was a really fun packed show, right?
Yeah, it really was. I truly learned a lot from you guys, so thank you so much. I love to sit back and just listen. Can you tell? I take notes. So it's such a pleasure. Everybody, thank you so much for the nomination. This is such a blessing. It's such a blessing. It's kind of like a dream come true. Thank you, Mr. J, for the opportunity. And Radio UNT, God bless you guys. Good night. Buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
Buenas noches, Gus. We'll talk a little next week. We'll promise that we're going to talk. But things in Puerto Rico are getting hot. Listen to me next Tuesday. Te pendiente. Chaito, mucho amor y respeto. Dios los bendiga. Y la Virgen nos acompañe. Amén.